Hi there. If you're watching this while sitting in a house that feels just a bit too much right now, welcome. You're not alone. There have been days when I just wanted to close every door just so I didn't have to look at the mess waiting for me. It's not because I'm lazy. It's just that every time I tried to start, I'd get caught in 100 tiny decisions, keep or toss where to put it, when I'd finally have time to deal with it all. And it's not really about the mess. It's about feeling like you're not in control anymore of your space, your time, or even your energy. So today, I want to share with you the simple things that helped me feel lighter in my home and in my head. This isn't one of those declutter your whole life in a weekend videos. These are things I've done in a real busy home with work kids and that constant feeling like there's never enough time. And they've helped me stop having to start over every single week. And the first tip? It's tiny. But if you're feeling overwhelmed, it might be the only thing you need to do today. Let's start with something gentle, something that doesn't feel like a project or a task waiting to be crossed off. Tip number 1, treat decluttering like a quiet little hobby, not a chore. You don't have to fix your whole house. Just pick one small thing and give it an hour. That's it. Last Sunday, I sat down with nothing but a box of tangled cords we kept throwing into a plastic bag in the hallway cabinet. I didn't time myself. I just made a cup of tea, put on some music, and sat on the floor. Untangled. Checked what still worked. Labeled the chargers. Threw out the mystery cables we hadn't used in years. It sounds small, and it was, but it left this oddly satisfying gap in that cabinet. Like space had opened up in my head, not just in the hallway. That's the power of doing just one thing. No rush, no pressure. Tip number 2, create tiny systems that quietly support you every single day. Nothing fancy. Just a few little helpers that make your space run smoother without needing your attention. For example, we now keep a small basket in the hallway closet marked, "Let go." Every time I try on a shirt and feel meh, I drop it in. No need to make a decision later, it's already made. Near the kitchen, there's a low tray on the counter where my husband drops his wallet, I leave my work badge, and we both toss our receipts before they go missing. And this one's a game changer. Before you walk out of any room, just glance around. Grab one thing that's out of place and bring it with you. I started by just taking mugs back to the sink or returning the remote to the TV stand. Nothing big. But somehow that little loop helps keep the whole house feeling calmer without adding another task to my day. And if this kind of realistic, low-pressure approach helps you too, I've got more coming. I'll be sharing more of the most practical, sanity-saving decluttering tips tomorrow. The kind that actually work in real homes on real busy days. So if you haven't yet follow along, I'd love to have you with me. Now let's move into the kind of clutter that drains your energy the most, the things sitting out taking up space, just because they don't have a real place to go. Now let's talk about the kind of clutter that keeps coming back even after you've cleaned up. You tidy the counters, clear the floor, and somehow it all sneaks back by the end of the week. The truth is, most of that isn't from laziness, it's from systems that don't work yet. Here are 3 shifts that helped me stop the cycle. Tip 3, divide your home into 2 zones: things you use every day and things you don't. It sounds simple, but it changes everything. For years, I kept the iron in the front hall cabinet because it kind of fit there. Problem is, we use it once every few months. Meanwhile, my son's lunchbox, something we needed daily, was always floating around the kitchen counter with no real home. Once I realized this, I moved the iron to a high shelf in the laundry room, the lunchbox. It got its own drawer right by the fridge. Now, mornings run smoother, and the hallway isn't a drop zone anymore. Make space for what you actually touch every day. Let the once-a-year things live further out of the way. Tip 4, don't rush out to buy organizing bins. Wait until you know what you really need. I've bought so many cute containers that ended up cluttering the very space I was trying to fix. There was a set of woven baskets I thought would be perfect for under the bathroom sink. But once I put them in, I realized the tall bottles didn't fit and everything had to lie sideways. It looked nice and functioned terribly. Now I organize by category first, using whatever I already have: shoeboxes, trays, even empty Tupperware. Once I know what stays and where it belongs, then I'll measure and buy something that actually works. Pretty storage you don't use is just expensive clutter. Tip 5. Declutter inside the drawers before you clear off the surfaces. I know that sounds backwards, but hear me out. If your kitchen counters are always full, or your coffee table keeps collecting piles, it might be because there's no empty drawer to tuck anything away. A few weeks ago, I wanted to clear our dining table before guests came over, but every drawer nearby was full of old male random chargers and things we hadn't sorted in months. I had nowhere to put anything, so I paused. Spent 30 minutes clearing one drawer. After that, cleaning the table took 5. When there's space inside, it's much easier to tidy the outside. Sometimes, it's not the mess that drains you, it's the pressure to fix all of it at once. That's why these next few tips are all about making progress without burning out, because it's not about how fast you go, it's about not giving up halfway. Tip 6, don't declutter everything. Just one little category at a time. One weekend, I only went through my underwear drawer. That's it. The next weekend, I sorted through the kids' coloring books and threw away the ones with 3 pages left and dried out markers. The weekend after that, I tackled the file folder of old receipts that had been sitting in the kitchen drawer for months. Doing it this way sounds slow, but it's the only way I've been able to keep going. It feels good to finish something without feeling wiped out. And when it feels good, you'll actually want to come back to it. Tip 7. Give homeless items a temporary place to live. There will always be things you don't know what to do with yet. A weird tool you don't use often. A gift you don't really love but feel bad tossing. Instead of letting them sit out or float from room to room, I now keep a box labeled, "Not sure yet." It lives in the hallway closet. If I find something I don't know how to categorize or feel stuck on it, it goes in there. Once a month or so, I check it. Most of the time, I realize I didn't miss it at all. That's my signal that I'm ready to let it go. Tip 8. Ask yourself, if this item disappeared tomorrow, would I care? It sounds a bit dramatic, but it works. I once had a fancy hand mixer that I kept purely because it was expensive. But every time I baked, I reached for the simple old whisk. One day I asked myself, if this fancy mixer vanished, would I be upset? The honest answer, no. That question has helped me let go of so many maybe someday things. And the best part? It does it without guilt. Because you're not throwing it away on impulse. You're just telling the truth. If your home feels heavy and out of control, don't start with the big stuff. Don't start with deciding what to keep or where it all goes. Start with something that gives your brain a little win. Tip 9. Begin with what's obvious trash, dirty dishes, and laundry. These things don't require the emotional decisions. They don't ask you to question your identity or memories. They just need to be picked up. Last Tuesday, I had one of those days where everything felt like too much. Instead of trying to clean the house, I just grabbed a trash bag and went room by room, candy wrappers, tissue packs, packaging from online orders. Then I tossed all the dishes into the sink. Then I picked up the dirty socks, sweaters, and towels and threw them in the laundry basket. That alone made the house feel like it had taken a deep breath. And more importantly, so did I. Sometimes that's all you need to start one small thing that tells your brain, hey, look, I can do this. Tip 10, keep a trash bag in each room while you clean. This sounds almost too simple, but it changes everything. If you're cleaning the living room and find bits of packaging or broken pens or snack wrappers, having a bag right there means you don't have to go to the kitchen and come back. That kind of back and forth drains your focus fast. Now I keep a roll of small trash bags in our hallway drawer. When I'm ready to tidy, I grab 3, one for the bedroom, one for the bathroom, and one for the entryway. It helps me stay in flow, finish faster, and feel less annoyed while I'm doing it. Because the easier it feels, the more likely you are to do it again. If you've ever started cleaning and ended up sitting on the floor surrounded by half-sorted piles and completely exhausted, you're not alone. Decluttering doesn't just take time, it takes decision-making energy. And the truth is, our brains only have so much of that each day. So the key is to declutter in a way that respects your energy, not drains it. Tip 11. Declutter by category, not by room. I used to go into a room and try to tackle everything in it. Books, cables, old papers, toys. But switching between different types of items like that made my brain feel scattered. Because each category requires a different kind of decision. Do I still read? This is not the same as, do I need this cord? Now I choose one category and stick to it. Just books, just office supplies, just skincare. That way, my mind stays focused and I get into a rhythm which makes everything faster and much less frustrating. Tip 12, go from easy to hard, not the other way around. Start with things that are emotionally light: socks, t-shirts, random receipts. Then move on to books, then papers, then household stuff, and leave the sentimental items for last. There's no prize for starting with the hardest thing. And if you do, you're more likely to burn out and stop altogether. I started with my kitchen towels. That sounds silly, but after clearing that drawer, I had the energy to do the whole utensil tray the next day. Small wins create momentum. That's how real progress happens. Tip 13, keep 3 boxes or baskets nearby. Toss unsure and needs a home. This one is a game changer. I used to stand in the middle of a room holding something random like a phone charger I hadn't seen in months and think, where should this even go? 10 minutes later, I'd be Googling storage bins and the whole process would derail. Now, if I don't know what to do with something, I just drop it in the unsure box and keep going. At the end, I come back to it, and honestly, half the time, I realize I don't even want it anymore. And the needs a home box. That's where the things go that I am keeping, but haven't figured out a proper spot for yet. That keeps them out of the way and out of my head. We often think decluttering is about having a neater home. But the real reason we want less mess, it's so we can feel something different, something better when we walk through the door. Tip 14, start by asking yourself 2 simple questions. How do I want to feel in this home, and what actually matters to me right now? Not what should matter, not what your mom thinks, not what Pinterest says, just you. Maybe you want to feel calm or light or more in control. Maybe you want a home that doesn't make you sigh when you come in from work. For me, I realized I didn't care if my house looked perfectly styled. I just wanted it to function so I wasn't always tripping over stuff, losing things, or rebuying what I already owned. Once you know the feeling you're after, the rest becomes a lot clearer. You're not just cleaning up. You're making space for the life you actually want to live. Tip 15. Remember, almost all mess falls into just 5 simple categories: trash, dirty dishes, laundry, things that are out of place, things that don't have a place. That's it. That's the whole mess. Once I started seeing it this way, everything felt less overwhelming. Instead of walking into a room and thinking, oh no, it's chaos again, I'd go, okay, this pile is laundry, this is trash, and that stack needs a drawer. It's not magic. It just gives your brain something to do instead of panic. And here's the quiet truth: no one tells you where you start. Doesn't matter nearly as much as the fact that you do start. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need a doorway, a drawer, or one moment when you choose peace over perfection. Decluttering isn't a one-time project. It's not something you get done and never have to think about again. But the more I do it, the more I realize it's not really about the stuff. It's about the space you get back in your home, yes, but also in your head. Space to breathe, to rest, to think clearly for once without the background noise of mess pulling at you. And no, you won't do it all in a day. You're not supposed to. But if you try just one of these tips today, even the tiniest one, you'll start to feel that shift. Not because your house looks different, but because you feel different in it. If you're still here, thank you for spending this time with me. If any of this helped you feel a little more grounded, I'd love for you to stick around. I'll be posting more tomorrow. Small, honest steps to help make home feel lighter and life feel less noisy. Until then, be kind to yourself. You're doing more than enough.